Howdy guys, Toddy from Ongoing Adventures. Today's episode about how to use a winch correctly. So we've got a few different methods. I'm going to show you a few different ways. We've got a few bits and pieces of gear. So I'm running the Runda winch of mine at the moment, the 13XP. So today's plan is to show you how to do a single line, double line pulley on your car and do a redirectional from a car to a tree to another vehicle as we do it all. So stay tuned, stick around, let's see what the gear we use and how we do it, and hopefully you guys can learn a tip or two on how to do a proper winch recovery. Let's get cracking. Yeah, so what we're going to do is to start with is go on my engine bay. I have an isolation switch inside the engine bay itself, so I always turn this on before I go on my nice little trips. So I just plug her in, turn the isolation on and leave it on so I'm good to go. And I'll just quickly pop down the bonnet. Then onwards, I don't need to worry about the isolation switch from then onwards. So with general winches, they do have a clutch on the inside on top of your actual winch braking housing. So you just want to release that to make it easier to pull your winch rope out and get it to the spot where you need it to go to. With my one, I do quite regularly use the wireless remote. That's how I like to operate. It just seems to be nice and reliable with the Rundas, but you can also have your hardwired controller as well for these winches, so which has an up, in and out button as well. So these are a plug-in. They will have to go into the control box. Mine's actually inside the grill, so I can get access to it, but it's more difficult, so I don't have to worry about it so much. But we will show you how to use these a bit more when we get to Curtis's car. We'll crack on from there. We'll start getting our setup ready to go on the tree itself to do a single line pull. Rightio, so we're just going to quickly show you the gear we use between the newer and the older versions of basic winching gear you have on your car. So this is my gear here. I have a much older class and older version of winching gear in my bag, and then I've got my mate's Curtis's gear. He has the new drifter gear for winching setups when you're going away. Awesome kit to have. Recommend having it with you at all times when you go away. So with the older stuff, I've got the old pulley block. I've got two of these, so you can run your actual winch right through them, lock them onto the tree, and press that to go. For the newer ones, they've now got a much newer type, which is like a winch ring. Much lighter, easier, and more mobility to have. So this all comes in the kit. So you've got your dampeners, you've got your tree trunk grabbers, the new version here as well from the Drifter Stockton. Then you'll have your winch extension. So I've got the old flat one. So that's a nice winch extension if you need to get extra length. What I just found out the new ones, this is the new winch extension rope from Drifter Stockton with the actual nylon bit itself. The good thing about these, you can actually put these around your winch pulley itself if need to, where the old ones you can't. So we've got some soft shackles here ready to go. We've also got some hard shackles. Bow shackles are the ones I have, and I've got a couple of soft shackles too. So we're going to quickly set up around our tree, get our tree trunk grabber ready to go to do a single line pull on our winches. I'll show you how we guys use it and how we do it. So I'm going to probably use the new drifter stuff, so you can hopefully see the new equipment on that. We'll go from there. Let's go find our tree. Righto, so now we're at our tree. The trick when you're finding trees, make sure you find a nice good base one. I usually find one that's usually a bit bigger than my body size. It is personal judgment on that, but definitely look for a nice live tree with a good trunk on the bottom of it. That's not going to come around the ground. So I'm going to grab my tree trunk grabber, my soft shackle, my winch, and my dampener, hook her up, and we'll go from there to do a single line winch. So just grab your tree trunk grabber, wrap it around the tree. When you grab it, make sure you got it fairly straight and flat. Bring it down to the base, as such. What you can do from here, just grab your bow shackle, or if you've got a soft shackle or a hook on your winch, either one. Feed this through, just like that. Put it back into here, put your pin in. Presto, I'm now ready for a single line pull for a winch. So not everyone has bows just straight off their winch cable. I do, that's just how I prefer it. Most common people do have just a hook, or you can have it swapped out for a soft shackle. But if you had a hook, you can put a shackle on here, hook it onto the ring here, or you have your hook straight into the tree trunk grabber for the eyelet holes here. But for mine, I just go straight like that. It's nice and safe, nice and easy, and ready to go. And then from then onwards, I put my dampener on about halfway or to a quarter of the way from here down to take any shock load when it does any failures happen, or take the shock out and drop the rope down. So we'll go from there. Rightio, so now we've got the main line out. I've got the tree trunk grabber in. I've got my first dampener in. I do like to try and carry a second dampener if I can. I usually try and come about 1.5 meters off where I've hooked it up to, and have the second one about halfway between the car and the first dampener, just like that. That's only if you guys do carry a second one, or if you can put a second one in. The reason being is if something happens down out and it snaps or something breaks, I've only got a couple of meters where it could come loop around and not fall to the ground. Same between here and here. If someone breaks between here and here, I now only have a couple of meters for someone to break and fall down before it hits my car. Generally, if you've only got one and it's in the middle and you're a full 20 meters length out, you've got 10 meters of a whip coming straight back at your car that can injure you. But most times you don't generally need to put one on there, but if you are full length out, you can put 2 dampeners on to minimize how much of a whip back something come back at you if something breaks. Just a bit of extra safety, keep it in mind. Doesn't always happen if you can't do it. So what we're going to do now is take out the slack on the winch, and we'll show you how a properly tensioned single line pull is. Let's get cracking. Now I've got the rope just slightly tensioned, not fully just yet. I'm just checking the cables, checking my connections, and then I'll do it, hop back in my car and do a little self winch out if I can. So that's a single line pull of recovery for a winch. Now we're going to do a double line pull using a pulley block. Let's get cracking onto that next. Righto, so now we're here, we've done our single line pull. Now what we're going to do is a double line pull using a pulley block. So the trick with this one is we're just going to undo our shackle. Remove the pin, take the line off real quick, and I'm going to grab our pulley block, open her up, run the rope in, as such, close her up, just like that. I think I'm on the wrong side here. Just like that. And then we're going to attach this to our bow shackle here. And once you do it up, just go about a quarter turn back so you don't over tighten it. So now we've got our tree trunk grabber, our shackle and our pulley block. So now we can spin, and we're going to run this cord back to the car and hook it up to the car end itself so we have a double line pull. Okay, now we're back at the car to the bull bar section itself. I've got my recovery point down the bottom here. So all I can have to do now is just feed my soft shackle into here, as such. Feed this into my loop, and then put it on like that. Make sure she's tightened up, as such, and that's now ready to go from the winch to the pulley block, now back to the car for a double line pull. Easy as that, guys. Now, I like to use a soft shackle here. You guys can also, when you have the hook on here, just hook it straight on, or to where your recovery points are, or have a smaller shackle on there. So we're going to quickly tighten this up and show you the tension load on this now too. Rightio, so now we've got our lines not quite tensioned yet, but most ready to go. I can now readjust some of these dampeners to one each line. Now if you really wanted to, what you can also do, because we're quite close up to the tree itself, is have this dampener on both lines itself ready to go. Just like that, guys. So now we've got a double line pulley tension ready to go for a double line winch. Easy as that. Pulley block, or you can have your little winch ring. Different methods on how you can secure it down, if you have a hook down there or a soft shackle down there or just a little bow shackle. Right, guys, so that is now a double line pulley winch ready to go. We're now going to show you a different method. We'll get cracking from there. Right, yeah, so we just changed our setup to a redirectional winch pulley setup now. We've got a single redirectional one. So the idea is I've just pulled the winch off my car, put it to the pulley block chain area, and then back down the line to pull my mate out if he was stuck in a sticky situation. So we just put his in a set of line. The way we've got it right now, he will be pulling towards roughly 45 degrees from the tree, which can cause a bit of a slip to go towards my way. So this is one way of a redirectional pulley to help pull one way in this way and back towards me to get him out. But you guys can also do a double or a two redirectional pulley to your mate's car to go from one tree to another tree, then into your mate's car again. So you can just keep doing this depending where your mate is and which way you want to pull him out. So keep in mind on where he is, where you need to pull him, where your car is, and the hazards around you. Because where he is right now, if he was in a really muddy spot, he could technically slide 45 degrees straight into my car. This is where I could think of maybe I need to rechange my setup, have one redirectional pulley here, and maybe the other redirectional on that tree over there to pull him more away from me and get him out safely at the same time. Once again, I've got dampeners all over the place to try and bog this stuff down. If something does try and break or snap on me, you guys don't have to use just dampeners. If you feel like you need more, you can use bags itself, towels, blankets, other bits of rope, or snap straps to hang over your lines. So if something does break or snap, it will help drop it and take out that shock load and snap back on them. Right guys, so we're gonna quickly zoom in and show you the different setup from a pulley block to the new pulley ring itself with a soft shackle on it instead. So we'll get over here and get catching on this bit. Right, yeah, so I am used to the old pulley blocks, snap blocks, depending on which name you guys want to call them for. I've got a few of these, I've had them for a long time. Something that we're all slowly now getting into is the winch ring. Super light, super handy, super compact, super easy to store anywhere in or out in the car. I am going to start slowly moving toward these because this is my mate's one I'm using these ones, sneakily. Awesome bit of kit, nice and light, recommend it. Go to a soft shackle to your tree trunk grabber, easy as. And they do spin as you pull your rope in and out through them. So depending on what gear you got, if you've got the old style pulley block like I have, or you've got the new winch ring itself. Various different setups, guys. Like I said, mine, you use the bow shackle under here. This one here, you'd use a nice soft shackle. Once again, the weight wise is massively, so there's a lot of weight in all these items here, where there's not much weight into these items here. So depending on what you guys setup is, if you want to guys slowly save up, get some new gear like this, or you just stick to some old gear like I'm running right now until I need to replace it. So this is still a single redirectional pulley line from one car to the other, and we can also do multiples of these of running it out, pulling another pulley line, and then back to his car again. So depending on how much gear you have, depending on how much you can do, if you're going to do a single, you can do a double, you can do a triple of this sort of setup. So remember guys, always try and keep your gear clean, safe, check any fray, tears or cuts in them, because that's where your weak spots will be and that's where the breakage will happen. So we're going to get cracking. I'll give you some more tips as we get close to the cars and we'll go from there. So now what we're going to do guys is just do a quick winch on the actual car itself and the pulley to show you guys how we do it. So I'm inside with my nice little electric remote, wireless remote. I've got Kirsten in his car. He's just going to stay in neutral while I do a nice easy winch on the car itself to show you guys how it actually run in while we're doing this operation. So with the trick of this is make sure anyone around is well away of the cord and more of the winch rope that you've got out, because you do not want to be having anyone in here just in case something does break, snaps or moves, because it will be very fatal, quite possibly very fatal to them if something does happen on this instance. So as you guys can see, Kirsten's car is starting to slowly come back with a winch. He's just in happily neutral because he's doing a nice easy recovery out of a nice pretend bog hole he may have by using my winch, my car as a bit of an anchor point and doing a recovery winch itself. So easy as that guys. So just remember, when doing this sort of stuff, make sure no one is near you. When you finish the winch operation itself, just take a bit of tension off your winch rope just like that. So when you guys take it off, you can easily undo the winch rope on both sides. Alright guys, we'll get cracking, we'll show you some more tips. Thank you. Alright, so now we're just showing you a couple of main methods on how to winch. This stuff can get a lot more complicated depending on what you guys are doing. There's a lot more other ways of doing it itself. This is just a couple of basic main winching lines that you guys can do when you're out in the playing ground. So what we're now going to bring in is my mate Curtis here with his Colorado, and he's going to explain a couple of extra safety tips for you guys to know. Bring it on, mate.
G'day guys, how are yous? Right, so I think the main issue a lot of people do, they use their toe balls, and obviously that's a huge no-no. The thing, what can happen is obviously it can rip straight down because a lot of force is getting pushed down instead of being pushed back. So best thing to do, take it out if you've got no other option. And again, this is really debated whether you can actually put it inside and put the pin through, whether you're with a soft shackle or whatever you want to do, or your recovery rope or whatever. You can do it. I don't see a problem with it, but again, it's a personal opinion on whether it's safe or not. Best thing to do, recovery points. Me personally, I've got the X bar. I've got 3 recovery points on the back. I can do double line pull out, so it's safe to go back to here, or I can do a single like we have here. Depends on what you want to do. Front, again, a lot of people have the OzSafe recovery points on the front. I personally don't yet, but probably should. Now, the other major tips would be, I would say, if you're going out, tools. Tools would be a major thing to have for breakdowns, issues, pipes blowing off. We've all had those small issues. Obviously tyres, all that sort of stuff. So we got Todd coming back over here. He can come back in and do a couple more. We got a couple more things going on here.
So following from that, what Curtis was just explaining, so rather than taking out your actual toe ball itself, you can take it out and go get yourself a recovery point that will slot into its place to swap out that option. But you can either have that in the back here. If not, you guys can also get, which I always carry with me too, is an equalizer strap. So good about things you can use in front and rear depending on your recovery point setup is. So where Curtis has got one just under there, if you hold that, mate. And then you have one just here too, using shackles or your soft shackles, and then you can have it out to here, and that's when you can now hook up your ring, your soft shackle, or your hook onto here and equalize your pull from your car. So like I said guys, there is other different methods that you guys can use. It doesn't have to be just the one hookup line. Where Curtis is quite lucky, he's got 3 direct points on the rear of his car from his rear bar. We're using the center one right now, where you can use equalizer straps to go either side. You can also get a recovery hook to swap out your toe ball for the day or for the week or for your trip as long as it could be.
Well, this one here is a Max Trax one. All right, this one can hold up to 8,800 kilos. Sorry, 88,000 kilos. All right, so 8.8 ton. These are really good, but they're only a soft shackle pull. Now again, soft shackles for me personally is the way to go. We got to sort of, I think, getting rid of the bow lines and all that sort of stuff, is they're not as good. They're heavy, they're weighted, and if something goes wrong, they're a missile. They will absolutely destroy things. So I think going, as Todd said, he's going to start slowly switching to all his stuff going to soft shackles now. That's just the way to go, I think, these days. So yeah, that's my personal opinion.
Yep, so same again. His recovery point is made for soft shackle dissolves. My one's a bit different. So the one you'll just see here right now, it's the older style that you can buy at different stores. As Curtis said, I am now slowly swapping out my gear for the new modern stuff. So I have a lot of bow shackles because I generally always have, say, 2 shackles to a strap just to be safe. Where I've got about 2 or 3 soft shackles I've been slowly swapping out. One, they are safer. They are super lighter than the gear, and they're not going to be banging around and destroying stuff in your boxes or in your cab. So the one good advantage is, yep, they are super lighter, and if something does break or snap, it's by its name a soft shackle. They're only a soft impact compared to a big steel clunky thing coming at you. Where all my stuff is usually in a bag, one big bag, a heap of bow shackles, a lot of weight, hard to get out of the toolboxes, and it dings and bangs around stuff. With the soft shackles, you know, multiple of them, super light, easy to carry, and presto, way to go. And that's with all different gear too. So what I'm going to go grab real quick, I'll show you the different styles once again in extension lines as well, and the difference of the styles to the new ones now as well. Okay, so I just quickly grabbed my winch rope extender. The difference, show you guys the difference between the new and the old stuff. So this is just my old winch rope extension. As you can see, it's just a nice flatbed rope that you can go from your winch rope to a tree if your tree is too far away for the rope of your cable on your actual winch block itself. So this is the old style, which is still currently used today. You can still buy these, but Curtis's ones today is much newer, and we'll show you off now.
So this is the new style winch rope extender, right? So very different to what Todd has there. So very similar to the same line you've got on your winch. depending on what you have on your winch, with a 20 or 30 metre. This will extend you out another 10 odd metres, so depending on what you want to do, gives you a little extra length. I wouldn't recommend probably putting multiple of these to go even further. It's just, you're in for a world of hurt if something happens with that much line pulled out. Personally, I'd try get the vehicle closer to yourself, or just find a different way than trying to extend it out that far. That's my opinion on that.
Yep. So there's the difference between the actual winch rope extensions themselves, between the old and the new. And then we go towards, say, like the shackles itself. So my shackles, I've had these bow shackles for a long time. They've been my trusty shackles. I personally haven't had a problem with these yet. But the difference is between the common shackles, they are very weighty. If something does go wrong, these are a rocket and they'll come at you. So I still will use these from now on until future, but I am now starting to slow out my soft shackles, which Curtis will put onto.
Again, soft shackles, very easy to use. Very, very easy. Just you pull your pin through and that's it. And again, straight back on. You can get these into a tighter section, right? So underneath the vehicle, anywhere you need to go. They also are very good for a wider, when you've got a bit of a wider pull compared to what these are. But again, that's what they're designed for. You can pull out on either side, as long as you're not really, you got one solid bit on the pin, but they can come off very similar off each side. If you're doing a double line straight out, you can do that on these. That's what they're also. But again, these are designed to do the same sort of thing, but again, a lot lighter.
Yeah, so the weight difference is quite significant between the shackle and a soft shackle, like very significant. So when you're in a car, you're driving around, these big bad boys are heavy, they're clunky, and they're going to do damage inside your car just moving around if you haven't got these properly secured. With these here bad boys, they're super light, they're super handy, they're just as strong, if not stronger, and you can hang these anywhere and they're not going to do any damage anywhere in your car and out of the car. So when you're winching, if these do break, they're a rocket coming back at you. They're just absolutely mass mayhem. If these have break, I've seen some videos of these being destructed, just mass mayhem. Where these ones here, if these do break, yes, it will come at you. Yes, it is 100% dangerous, but it is a lot softer impact and the dampeners will hopefully drop this down a lot sooner compared to the bow shackle, where it's got a bit of weight and a bit of momentum towards it. So I am swapping these out. This is mine now, actually, right here. So I'm actually getting mine from Drifter as well. I've got about 2 of these, and I've got about 6 bow shackles still, but they are slowly getting swapped out to these bad boys. Okay, so what we're going to get into now is actually our snap straps. It has not got nothing really to do with the winch itself, but while we're on the topic, we've got our gear out. So this is my old school snap strap, nice big heavy clunky thing, very reliable, still use it today, still can get these guys in the stores. We've all got them, we all use them. Just to put while we're here, we'll show you the different styles of the old style to the new style that Curtis has got right now.
Very heavy duty, the old school ones like that. Very, very thick, but again, they do the same job. This is what they call now kinetic ropes. They're trying to move to kinetic, I believe. Now, kinetic ropes are only good for pulling vehicles, vehicle on vehicle, not on trees, not on your winch at all. These are only designed to be spring-loaded, so then nothing is ever going to pull back and slip back and hit your vehicle. That's what these are designed for, and this is the new design out of Drifter. All right, I think this is a 20-tonner, 21-tonner or something like that. All right, very nice, easy, light, very simple, and a lot smaller than what Todd's one is there, so it can go into a bit more of a smaller bag and probably a little bit lighter, filling in the weights. Oh no, they're roughly the same weight, but obviously just a little bit smaller.
One thing I do recommend if you guys do get them, I've done it on this one here and I've just realised the date of it. So when I buy a new strap of any sort, I try and write my name obviously, because you know my mate's always trying to pinch my stuff. And then the year I got the actual strap, because even if these guys aren't worn down or badly degraded, because I use it a lot, it is good to replace these every so often, every couple of years. It's hard to recommend how many years you should do it, but this one will now be getting replaced pretty soon, because I just realised I got this back in 2014. So it's been 10 years now. This bad boy will be in there as an emergency strap, but I'll be getting some new ones ready to go, and I'll probably be going towards the newer style.
Now Drifter do this bag. I believe it's $5.99, and it comes with a heap of extras. I think 2 different sorts of rings. Where they are, 2 different sorts of them. Okay. Then it comes with your kinetic and your winch rope extender. Then it's got your ring as well and your tree trunk protector. So, and it all comes in a nice handy little bag, all slips together. and you're off ready to go, and just throws in the back, and everything's nice and soft and easy, and easy to throw anywhere, drawers, on top of the roof, wherever. It's just nice, light and compact.
So you guys know I love my drifter stuff, and this is the gear I will be saving my bickies up for, to start having this stuff in my car, because all the stuff in this nice little bag is super light and easy compared to my big clunky old heavy bag with all the steel components in it. So this is how, you know, all the exact same gear, just the newer stuff to the older stuff and the weight of it all. So hopefully guys, this does help you guys a little bit on a bit of a tips and tricks if you guys have just starting out with this sort of gear, or if you guys are experienced and you're just seeing some new gear or learning some extra tips and tricks for yourselves. Hope this guys video has helped you out. Thanks for watching and ongoing adventures.
Appreciate it, guys.
And just like that, another episode of Ongoing Adventures is done. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share to all your friends and family, and I'll catch you on the next one.